Dear children, welcome back to the gravitation chapter of Science and Technology Part 1. This is Module 3. Let us recollect our previous module. We have learned that the force F is equal to G m1 m2 upon d square, where G is the universal gravitational constant and m1 m2 is the mass of any two objects and d is the distance between them. G is the constant of proportionality and is called the universal gravitational constant. The unit of G, we have solved it to be Newton meter square per kilogram square. We have also learned that the force F is inversely proportional to r square, that is the mean distance of the planet from the sun. The centripetal force is responsible for circular motion of the planet and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the planet and the sun. Then the level of water in the sea changes because of the gravitational force exerted by the moon. In today's module, we will be learning some interesting factors. We will be learning about Earth's gravitational force, Earth's gravitational acceleration, the value of G on the surface of the Earth and how it varies. First, about Earth's gravitational force. Let us assume you are throwing a stone upwards. Will the velocity of the stone thrown upwards will remain constant or will it change with time? Of course, yes. The velocity changes with time while moving upwards. So how will it change? How will be the change? The velocity will reduce while the stone is moving upwards. But why doesn't the stone move up all the time? Why it come back? The upward movement of the stone depends on the force applied to it initially. What happens? The velocity, it reduces due to two things. One is due to friction in the air and due to gravitational pull of the earth. So why does it fall down after reaching a certain height? When you see at one point, we have learned that the velocity reduces when the stone is moving up. At one point, this velocity will become zero and the stone starts falling vertically down. What is its maximum height depend upon? We know that the thrown stone will not reach the same height every time. The maximum height depends on the initial velocity, that is the velocity which I am applying first to the stone to move upwards. Depending on that velocity, the height of the stone depends. About Earth's gravitational force, we understood something from the stone throwing experiment. The Earth attracts every object near to it towards itself because of the gravitational force. So the center of mass of the Earth, if you see, its center of mass is situated at the center. So the gravitational force on any object due to the Earth is always directed towards the center from any point of direction. So because of this force, an object will fall vertically downward at any given point of the Earth. This is what happens when we throw a stone vertically up. The force tries to pull it down and it reduces the velocity. So due to the constant downward pull, the velocity becomes zero after a while. So the pull continues and the stone starts moving vertically downward towards the center of the earth under gravity's influence. So our earth's gravitational force, if you see, due to which moon also revolves around the earth. We know our gravitational force acts on moon. Not only moon, it acts on the artificial satellites that are orbiting the earth. The moon and artificial satellites, we know that they revolve in a circular orbit around the earth, but they do not fall on earth. Why it is so? It is because of the velocity they have. Because of the velocity, they stay in their own orbit. Imagine if the velocity is not there, definitely they would have fallen on the earth. We have an idea now about Earth's gravitational force. Now we will learn what is Earth's gravitational acceleration. We know Earth exerts gravitational force on the objects near it. So according to Newton's second law of motion, if a force is acting on a body, it will result in its acceleration. So the gravitational force due to Earth on a body also results in its acceleration. So this is called acceleration due to gravity, and it is denoted by small letter g. So this is a vector quantity, means that it is influenced by the direction also. So the direction of acceleration due to gravity, obviously it is towards the center of the earth, that is vertically downwards. So acceleration due to gravity is a vector quantity. Let us imagine some questions. What would happen if there were no gravity at all? So if there is no gravity, there is no force that is keeping the things together. So the earth may break apart and it start floating off into space. But what would happen if the value of g was twice as large? If the gravity is twice as large? See, the gravity between any two particles double. Then the acceleration will become double and the gravitational force will also be doubled. Children, it's time we calculate the value of g on the surface of the earth. We can calculate the value of g using Newton's universal law of gravitation. So for that we need to take any two objects. We are going to take one object as earth and the other object as some random object with mass m, which is situated at the distance of r from the center of the earth. Children, we know that r is representing the radius. Here we are taking small r for some time, and using this in law of gravitation, we will get F is equal to G capital M, which is nothing but mass of the earth, and small m, mass of the object we have taken, and R is the distance between center of the earth and the mass of the object taken. Then F is equal to mg. This we know very well. So here we are taking g because this acceleration is due to gravity. We know force is equal to mass into acceleration. So here, since acceleration is due to gravity, instead of a, we are writing g. So from the equations 1 and 2, replacing F is equal to mg, we get mg is equal to gmm upon r square. We can cancel out m on both sides, which is common. So I am cancelling out m on both sides. So we will be getting g will be equal to capital G m upon r square. If the object is situated on the surface of the earth, then the small r will be equal to the radius of the earth, which is represented by capital R. So the value of g on the surface of the earth will be, we will be replacing the small r by capital R and rewriting the same equation. But we know that mass of the earth is 6 into 10 power 24 kilogram and radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 power 6 meter. So if we are substituting it in this equation and solving it, we will get a value of 9.77 meter per second square. So the value of g is 9.77 meter per second square. If we closely look at the formula, this acceleration g depends only on mass of the earth and radius of the earth. So the acceleration due to gravity at any given point on the earth will be same for all objects. It does not depend on mass of any single object, but depends on mass of earth and radius of the earth. So it does not depend on property of the object. So it is same for all the objects. Okay children, think there is a situation. What would be the value of g on the surface of the earth if its mass was twice as large and its radius half of what it is now? So we know that under normal condition, we know the formula as g is equal to gm upon r1 square. I am taking it as g1, m1 and r1 under normal conditions. So with the change in value of m and r, let us assume it to be g2, m2 and r2, where m2 is twice m1, this is our condition, and r2 is r1 upon 2. So when we compare g2 upon g1, so it becomes m2 upon m1 and r1 upon r2 the whole square. So we know substituting this value, that is m2 is twice m1 and r2 is r1 upon 2, we will be getting the value to be 8. So from this we can assume that the new value of g will be 8 times the present value. Let us learn now how the value of g varies in different conditions. First, we are going to learn what will be the change along the surface of the earth. Do you think that the value of g will be same everywhere on the surface of the earth? The answer is no, it will not. The reason is the shape of the earth. If you look at the shape of the earth, it is not exactly spherical. If you see, it is flattened, somewhat flat, or you can see it is bulged at the equator and it is flatter at the pole. This is due to the rotation of earth. So what happens when you look at the radius? So you know the value of g depends upon mass and radius of the earth. If we could calculate the radius is largest at the equator and smallest at the pole. When you calculate the values, the value of g will be higher at the poles and lowest at the equator. The change is not only on the surface but also with the height. Let us see what it is. We know that g is equal to gm upon r square. As we go above the surface of the earth, the value of r increases. So, the value of g will decrease. So, however, if you see a smaller heights, that is, for example, you take an aeroplane is flying about 10 kilometer, we know that the radius of the earth is 6,400 kilometers, and imagine there is an airplane flying at a height of 10 kilometer above the surface. This distance when you compare 10 kilometer is not much when you compare 6,400 kilometer. So these values can be negligible. These are very small values. But when you consider an artificial satellite orbiting around the earth, it is at a much greater distance. So for a greater distance, the change will be seen. That is, when you go above the surface of the earth with the greater heights, the value of g decreases. Let us see some heights and the value of g at these heights. If you can see on the surface of the earth, the value of g is 9.8 meter per second square, and even at a distance of 8.8 kilometer, that is on Mount Everest, you can see there is no change in the value of g. And even for a height of 400 kilometers, you can see a slight difference in the value of g. And for longer distances, that is height in thousands of kilometers, you can see the value of g getting decreased with increase in height. What will happen to G when you go deeper inside the earth? So let us assume the value of G will change when you go inside the earth also. Let us see how. So if you look at the formula, G is equal to Gm upon R square. If the value of R decreases, then the value of G should increase as per the formula. But we have to keep something in mind. When you are traveling deeper into the earth, we have to keep in mind that the mass also decreases once you go deeper into the earth. So the mass that contributes for the gravity decreases. So m also decreases when we travel deeper into the earth. So as a combined result of change in R and m, the value of G decreases as we go inside, deep inside the earth. The value of G decreases. So we have seen many changes in the value of G. What will happen? Will the direction of gravitational force change as we go inside the earth? Will the direction change? No, it will not change. It is directed towards the center of the earth only. So what will be the value of G at the center of the earth? We have learned that the value of G decreases when you go deeper. So at the center of the earth, if you see the value of R in G is equal to Gm upon R square, the value of R becomes 0. So what happens? Hence, G will be 0 at the center of the earth. At the center of the earth, we will not feel any gravity. There is no gravity. So value of G will be 0 at the center of the earth. Children, if you look at every planet and satellite, they have different mass and radius, isn't it? So, according to G is equal to Gm upon R square, the value of G on the surfaces will also be different. On the moon, it is about 1/6 of the value of the earth only. So, as a result, if you are using the same amount of force as on earth, you can jump 6 times higher on the moon compared to the earth. Let us summarize our today's module. The earth attracts every object near it towards itself because of its gravitational force. The center of mass of the earth is situated at its center. So the gravitational force of any object due to earth is always directed towards the center of the earth. The value of earth's gravitational acceleration, that is G, is equal to 9.77 meter per second square. The acceleration depends only on the mass and radius of the earth. So, at any given point, the value of G is same for all the objects. Along the surface of the earth, the value of G is highest at the pole and lowest at the equator. And the value of G decreases with increase in height above the surface of the earth. Also, the value of G decreases if we go deeper inside the earth. We have also learned that the value of G on moon is about 1/6 the value of earth. So thank you for listening, children. We will see more things in our coming module.